Well, I'm Irv Van Veldhuizen, and I'm retired.
I'm Chad Riniker, and I'm self-employed. I run a construction company and a property management company.
I'm Dave Bauer. I'm like Irv. I am retired, although I just started up a lawn care business.
My name is Ben Roberts, and I work for ConocoPhillips.
Josh Berkeley, work for WBI.
My name is Rob Grunin. I'm one of the elders and pastors here, so that's my job, I guess. These guys are all elders at Hillside here. All right, hey everybody. So we are just meeting here together and recording some stuff for you. We're gonna just have a quick kind of Q&A, which, you know, we came up with the question, so I'm not real sure how Q&A it is, but we're going to be talking about kind of coming back to church and what that looks like and some ins and outs of that. So first question is.
Well, the good news is we're going to come back on May 3rd, and the why is because it's time for us to meet again. We've been apart too long. We believe we have a good understanding through the government as far as what steps we need to take as a church to make it safe and healthy and a non-threatening environment, if you will, from the virus. So that's the reason that we're going to be in worship mode here at church, here at Hillside on on May 3rd.
That's this coming Sunday.
It is.
If you're not partying watching this, I don't know what. You need a Holy Spirit wake up or something. All right, well, here's a question. Why did we quit? Why did we stop coming? Why did we halt everything?
Well, we wanted to follow the direction of our governor, and he suggested that we not meet. And that's another good reason why we are coming back, is he's now suggested that we can come back together and meet as a body.
Yeah, and when I think about that, I also think about, you know, so he never actually did a official order that church had to close or anything, but it really comes down to what you said, that we wanted to make sure we're honoring the government that's been put by God over us, and also we want to do kind of our own personal conviction is that we don't want to do anything, especially before anybody knew anything about the virus and all that. We didn't want to do anything to put people in jeopardy. So specifically those who might be in most jeopardy through this sort of thing. So.
Well, first you might see some things that are a little bit out of the ordinary normally. However, given the circumstances, again, we want to make sure that everything is as safe and as clean as possible so that we reduce any transmission. So when you first walk in, there's going to be hand sanitizing stations, and the flow of worship will be just very similar to what we typically do. We've reduced the seating in the auditorium or in the sanctuary here and added a few more tables so that family units can sit together, which we highly recommend. We will have worship. Worship team is on this week. We'll have preaching. The other thing, too, is that it's the first Sunday of the month, so we will have communion. Communion will look a little bit differently it'll look a lot differently than it usually does, where I think we're going to have stations or tables where you can go up and essentially self-serve your communion to yourself. And so anyway, things might be a little bit different, but the flow will be the same. And ultimately, irregardless of what the physical situation is, it's all about being spiritual, God-centered, Jesus-focused, and we just want to make sure that we're providing a safe opportunity for that.
We do have a little bit different on the offering. Instead of passing the offering plates like we normally do in our service, we would like to, we have two stations at the back by the doors that you can place your offering in, the offering plate, as you leave and so on. So we have those options open rather than passing the plate. So that will look a little different in our gathering this week.
The coffee is not going to be self-serve. All that stuff is going to be turned around and someone is going to be doing it. So it's just one person touching everything. So we're doing little stuff like that to kind of take care of the germ spread factor a little bit. Can't do it 100%, but we're doing what we can, I think, so.
The online option will still be available for those who don't feel quite comfortable to come back yet as a group. Just the way it's been done for the last 5 weeks or so will be the same this coming Sunday also.
The other thing too is there will not be Sunday school nor children's church or anything. It's just strictly going to be the family gathering at 10 o'clock. There won't be any other activities. We'll open those up as we speak with those ministry leaders, as well as just kind of what everybody's comfort level is.
Yeah, if you don't feel comfortable about coming, just feel free to watch it online. And if you need, you can call Jeff Morton, and he will be more than happy to come by your house and give you a hug.
That would be a no. No.
And because we're all about love, and he really enjoys that, and will do that for you.
That better not get edited out. That better stay.
And the governor's also allowed Holy Kisses to come back. So.
That would be a no.
For Jeff only. Yeah, so we've been really come a long way technologically since we've had to do this, and so we've still got a lot of work to do yet. So we're going to attempt to live stream on Sunday morning at 10, but we will also be recording as well. So if for any reason the live stream is messing up or something, you can still just catch it on Facebook or on our website later. You won't be able to live stream on our website, but you know, kind of like when sermons used to be posted on our website after church was over, it'll kind of be the same thing, but just video.
You can wear a mask if it makes you feel more comfortable. You will not get mocked.
Yeah, I think we have understand that you know, there are going to be people that are less comfortable and people that have been ready to come back with no mask or anything for a few weeks, you know. And so we'll have to all kind of work together to honor the people who are coming, but maybe not comfortably coming. And you know, if people want to do the social distancing thing by the book and wear the mask and wear gloves, we don't have those here, so make sure that you bring those. But it is fine. It's a good thing, and we want to, you know, promote whatever you feel comfortable with. We'd rather have you here masked up than at home watching it on TV if you can do it. So.
One thing I wanted to add is the reason that we can even do this right now, and we've been doing it for the last few weeks, is because of Rob and the hard work he's put into the technology. And hopefully moving forward, we're going to be able to continue this even once we're coming back together for those who can't make it or are out of town or whatever situation presents itself. But I know I'm really thankful for the work that Rob has done to make this happen and give us the opportunity to keep improving on it. So thanks, Rob.
This is another thing we really look forward to this Sunday. This is going to be exciting, just to be able to get together and fellowship with one another and have our worship together. Be a great gathering time, and we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah. We'll probably never do this again until we see people die.
You can edit that out.
The first thing that comes to my mind is because of this, because of we're not able to gather, our church is one of thousands of churches that have now gone, you know, electronic, live streaming, pre-recorded, all of that. And I think that is a huge blessing, because now that's going to be on the internet forever. And you don't know what God is going to do with the gospel out there through all these churches, preaching it time and time again. And so I think this has been, I think God is going to ultimately, he will use this. He's already using this to spread his word, irregardless of whether or not we meet physically or not, even though that's part of his calling on the church itself. But nonetheless, technologically, and Rob and Josh both have been just stellar in getting us up and running to this point.
For sure, one of the takeaways for me has been a forced slowing down. I'm one that can just keep running and running. So this has forced me to slow down a little bit, and with not so many things on the calendar, I've definitely spent more time with my family and getting some rest and relaxation and being ready to start the next week. As it relates to the church, I think it has also shown me how much I took for granted, whether getting together as a church family or even just socially. When you can't do it, you realize how good it is to be with people. So that's what I've learned. Hopefully I've learned the lesson.
I think one thing that not only Chad's, it hit me as well. I think, we were doing Sunday morning. We had our group on Sunday nights, and Donna had women's studies, and we were just with people all the time. And then to kind of just hit pause on all of that, that's something that I didn't think I was taking it for granted, but I think probably I was a little bit. Because you don't even think about it. You don't think about being thankful that you get to be with people, and so I think that was a takeaway for me. And I also think that there's a sense of sort of, what do I find my comfort in? What do I depend on, right? And I know there are, we've at Hillside already been affected with some layoff type things, and this is the kind of thing that forces you to go, okay, well, he's all I have to depend on, period. And so I think that's one of the big takeaways, not maybe personally, but also for the church as well. Like, who do we depend on? Who is our comfort in? And certainly for the world that at large that are not believers, the takeaway is there's something bigger. God used a germ to stop everything on the planet, And so to go through your life thinking that you're in control of anything is kind of prideful. You don't think about it until times like this, but you're not in control at all. So I think that's a takeaway. But
Well, Rob stole my answer, but but yeah, I would just say my takeaway would be how fragile of a world we live in, and how it can quickly change in a day, and that with ultimately that God is in control of everything, but that we should be thankful for even just to wake up every morning and take another breath, because it changes that fast for the entire world.
Another thing I've been reminded of is when whether it's coronavirus or the price of oil or any other thing that we would view as an obstacle or a negative, the tendency is to suddenly run to God and have a more of a reliance on God. And so the rub, I think, for me is some point when we're not in this time of virus troubles, of still having that same dependence on God, whether it's finances or just being able to get together with people or whatever it is, to have that same reliance when things are going good.
yeah, to sort of not, whatever, all the stuff we're talking about, to not lose it, in a month or in 2021, it's all gone and we don't think about it anymore. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this will be remembered as a time when things were taken away through no fault or no control we even had, but stuff just vanished, whether it be jobs, opportunity to go out to a restaurant, opportunity to meet as a church. I mean, there's just so much, and my heart goes out to folks who have sick ones or even a funeral, and they can't have a traditional ceremony situation or even visitation because of the safety rules that have been put in place.
Changes priorities, for sure. Anything? Anything else? No? Crickets?
Check, 1, 2, check, 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 check.
Luke, I am your father.
minutes.